Good afternoon, India, and good evening, Australia. Welcome you all for this virtual face-to-face. I would like to introduce a truly extraordinary person today. One that, just by walking into a room, reminds us of the glory of being human. But for me, personally, Sam is much more. He's an evidence that there is absolutely no limit to what one person can do, regardless of what cards fate deals to us. Sam is living evidence that the physics of simply being indestructible are a matter of the will, a matter of intention, a matter of spirit, a matter of self-belief. The one mistake you can make while appreciating Sam is to appreciate how much he uses advanced technology. I invite you to see Sam for what he really is, advanced technology himself. I will not delay your interaction with Sam, but by way of welcome, I am reminded of the famous line from the classic Casablanca film. Play it again, Sam. I'm going to borrow it, but with a slight difference. To celebrate this fabulous Sam, play on, Sam. Welcome on board. It's all yours. Take it over.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ram, and I trust you and your family are well. And yes, I am in beautiful Sydney in Australia, experiencing lockdown from a different perspective. But certainly I want to thank you and everyone else in being here present. And I'm super excited and pumped about every single person that is actually here. Now, there's a few ground rules I'd like to first of all discuss. The very first one is this: make sure you write notes. You cannot expect to remember everything that I say here today. So this is a lesson for everyone here. Get a pen and paper, take notes, or alternatively, you can even take a photo, take some screenshots, because yes, I will be sharing some slides here tonight. And so please take notes, and that way then you can then start, listening to this again and reviewing your notes, throughout this evening and even going into tomorrow, this week, this month, whatever that journey is for you. And whatever journey that you're a part of, I just really wanted to say that, you right now are a beautiful, unique, amazing person, that you're alive today for a reason and a purpose. And whatever pressure that you might be feeling in your personal life, in your professional life, in your learning journey, I want to say that you can overcome this. And no matter how much uncertainty that you might feel about tomorrow's world, no matter how much pressure that you might be feeling from family, in your finances, in your relationships, just simply being lonely, depression, anxiety, stress, fear, panic, uncertainty, I wanted to say that you can overcome this, and that's, yes, the best. Your greatest days are ahead of you. And that's what I truly believe. And the more that you lean into that, the more that you'll truly understand what is possible in tomorrow's world. Because how I see it is this, right? Imagine this, right? You know how, even at the start of the year, we had everything sort of planned out for us. Whether it's our parents or even if you're a teacher or whatever journey that you're on, you know how we already had everything quite planned out. And now all of a sudden, the universe is telling us a message. And how I see it is this: it's like a beautiful canvas. And when you're doing art, or let's say you get a paintbrush out and you can paint anything at all you like. And that's exactly how I see this season that we're in. And yes, I get it. We're starting to see us getting out of COVID. I see there in India is that the flights are now happening, or slowly we're getting back to what normal life could be in this social distancing new world that we're discovering. But the reality is this: is that you as a human being are alive today for a reason and a purpose. You are here listening in this online webinar for a reason and a purpose. That yes, our greatest days are ahead of us. And I truly believe that. And so I wanted to first of all start, and I'm now going to share my screen here, and I'm going to really start with getting you guys to start thinking differently. And what I mean by that is this: we must understand that we can rewire ourselves for tomorrow. There's a thing which we like to call in brain science, which is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means that we can rewire our brain. Our brain is malleable. So no matter what structure that we could have, no matter what we've been told from our teachers, our parents, what we've been told by the world, how we must be and who we have to become, we can rewire ourselves and create a brand new tomorrow. So I'm going to first of all start with these 3 areas of re's. And it really has helped me to rewire even myself. For those people that don't know, I had a major car accident 15 years ago, which left me with an amputated right arm. And yes, I do have a bionic arm, but also left me with a complete wrecked leg. And the doctors said that I'll never be able to walk ever again. But as you can see, you know, I'm a walking, talking miracle. And I also believe that you are a miracle as well, which then means that as we understand neuroplasticity, as we rewire ourselves for a brand new chapter in our life, my encouragement to you is this. The number one thing is start reviewing what is important to you. Start reviewing who you want to be in life. Start reviewing what you've been told by other people in your world, and how can you start planning your life by yourself? How can you start reviewing what is important to you? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Who you are today and where you really want to head? And what do you do? What do you need to do to start recalibrating? And again, write this down if you can, yeah? Recalibrating the things in your life that aren't fulfilling you. What do you need to say no to? Get this ready. One of the most toughest things in my life was actually saying no to my parents. One of the most toughest things in my life was saying no to traditional education. Now, get this ready. This is fascinating. Catch this ready. I am quite uneducated in a traditional sense, meaning this. I've never sat an exam before in my life. And not only that, I've actually... Okay, someone's just muted me, yeah? Is that right? Hello, can you guys still hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Great, awesome. But my point being is this, is that what we need to do is that we need to recalibrate what is important in our life. And one of the most amazing things, even though I've never sat an exam, I never finished high school, I never studied at college, I certainly didn't study at university, I still found my purpose. I still found my success. I've now spoken in 40 countries. I've shared the stage with President Bill Clinton, with the Dalai Lama, with Richard Branson, with Michael Jordan, with Michelle Obama. And one thing I found throughout my journey is that I can start saying no to things that doesn't fulfill me. And by me recalibrating myself, I started to say no to so many things. And nowadays I get opportunities and I have so much power in saying no. Why? Because it actually helps me to stay focused on the dreams and aspirations that I want in life. So recalibrate that as well and start saying no to things. And then the last one is reinvent. Reinvent exactly what our future might look like. Start reinventing it as exactly who we are today and where we really want to go. And my encouragement to you is that whatever journey that you are on, do things that will actually fulfill you. Do things that make you happy. Do things to help you go from where you are today to where you really want to be, which is just awesome. All right, guys, I trust that you guys got a screenshot of that. You took a photo, you're writing down notes. But one thing I'd love to do right now, I want a little bit of interaction, okay? So this is what I'd like for you to do, and I'm sure everyone has used Zoom before. But right down the bottom of Zoom, you've got a speech bubble. Inside that speech bubble, I'd like for you to actually, in the comment section, I want you to go, hello from. So wherever you are from, and also tell us, maybe even just simply say hello. So I'm going to say hello from Sydney, but you could even say hello from year, tell me what year you're in or whatever it might be. So I'm going to say hello from Sydney. So why don't you just simply say a very quick hello there in the comments. Can I get everyone, please? If you've never used this before, come on. I'd like everyone, please, to join in with me. All right. We're saying hello. Adi, hello, India, hello, Mumbai, hello from Chennai, hello, Hossa, hello, Coimbatore, Tirapu, we've got Erode, Tirapu, we've got Chennai, we've got a lot of people here from India, Kottagal, Coimbatore, awesome. So we've got people from all around India, which is great. I'm so excited that you are here today with me, that you're sharing in what we can do, what we can call life, through a video camera, which is awesome. Dr. Ram, did you want to say something?
Yeah, there are people who have joined from Vancouver, England, US. That's also there.
Very cool. We've got people from all around the world. And can I just say that you all look so good looking. All right. And that's only for the people that are brave enough to turn their videos on. And yes, we've allowed you to turn your video on. You're welcome to if you can. But congratulations for those brave enough to turn their video on for us to visually see how good looking you are, which is really, really cool. Wow, this is great. Excellent. In a moment, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about my story and about how I can actually help and serve you along this journey, which is really, really, really cool. Woohoo! This is great. Seeing all these good-looking people here online, which is really, really cool. So, guys, I'm just trying to think some elements here that I can help you with. Here. Let me then share with you a little bit more about my area of expertise. So in my heart of hearts, I'm actually a futurist. And so basically what a futurist is that I am just fascinated by where the future is going. I'm fascinated what is possible in our life. And I've written a couple of books. One of my books is called Bounce Forward. Just write that down there. Bounce Forward, How to Transform Crisis into Success. Actually, I've written 8 books, including 2 international New York Times bestsellers, which is really cool. And try and work that one out. I failed English, seriously, but I've written 8 books, including 2 international bestsellers. But one thing I've found all throughout my journey is that I am fascinated about where the future is going. So I'm going to share with you some elements here which will help you, whatever journey that you're on, whatever struggles that you find yourself in, whatever uncertainty about tomorrow's world. I'd love to share with you a little bit more about what I can see where the future is going, to really help you on this journey as well. And please feel free, answer any questions at all that you might have. You're more than happy to just post your questions inside the chat, and that way then I'm more than happy to answer any questions as we do go along. So let's have a look at the very first one here. Is futurists are actually saying that that with a lot of stress, anxiety, pressure, uncertainty, etc. One thing we futurists are saying is this, is that humans are highly resilient. Not only that, we as a species are very adaptable. One of my favorite books of all time, and write this down, yeah? It's by a guy by the name of Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl, write that down, yeah? The book is called Man's Search for Meaning. And basically the book is about a psychologist who was actually in Auschwitz there in a concentration camp there in the Second World War. And he talks about how so many people had lost hope and they were passing away, they were dying. And one thing that I found, particularly during COVID, there's a lot of doom and gloom. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of fear, particularly even with our leaders. And one thing that I want to really encourage you is to realize that there is light at the end of the tunnel, is that we're going to get through this. And not only that, we're going to get through with flying colors, because us human beings, we're highly resilient. Us as a species, we can adapt. And maybe right now you might be feeling a lot of pressure. You might be feeling uncertainty. You might be feeling, like there's a lot of doom and gloom and fear. But I want to really encourage you that you must be a voice of hope in the world. Actually, I might even start calling you influencers here today. So as an influencer, I truly believe that if you're on this call, you would like to influence yourself. You'd like to influence your family, your community, your workplace, your marketplace, your school place, whatever that might be. But as influencers, we need to be beacons of hope. We need to share that, yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And even if it is when we go on social media, here's a challenge, ready? When you go on social media, and it could be TikTok, could be Snapchat, could be Facebook, could be LinkedIn, could be Insta, it could be Twitter, whatever it might be. My encouragement to you is this, and this is the challenge, ready? Actually, I'm going to see you for this. I'm going to watch you, ready? This is your challenge, and this is a challenge I'd like to challenge you all. Post before you look. I'll say it again. Post before you look. Because what happens is this. A lot of the time with social media, we are voyeurs. And what is a voyeur? Voyeur looks at what everyone else is doing. They watch what everyone else is doing. They see what everyone else is doing. And they just consume. My challenge to you here today, if you're online, my challenge is this. Post before you view. Post before you consume. And what is your post? Your post could be fun. It could be happiness. It could be joy. It could be motivational. It could be a nice quote. Share someone else's quote or whatever it might be. Can I please encourage you to think of you as an influencer? Instead of you consuming whenever you're on social media, post before you consume. And that way then you can be a positive contributor to the world rather than just a consumer. So that's my challenge to you here today. If you're watching this, is to post, is to give, is to serve, is to add value before you consume across the world. All right, let's continue on here. And that way that you guys can still be with me. All right. Next one is this, is that what futurists are saying is this, is that crisis creates opportunity. The very first chapter of my book, Bounce Forward, is called this, Crisis Creates Opportunity. Now, 15 years ago, I was in the biggest crisis of my life. I was 26 years old, married, and had 2 kids. Seriously, I was married at 26 and I had 2 kids. And I had a job with the Australian federal government as a youth futurist. So basically, as a youth futurist, I was predicting trends when it came to young people. It was a great job. Yet at the same time, I had a sudden crisis, which was my car accident. I was driving along, I fell asleep, I veered over the other side of the road, and the police said it was a 206-kilometer head-on collision with a semi-trailer truck, about a 60 mile an hour. And the bottom line is this. I was pronounced dead at the scene. Yes, my heart stopped for over 3 minutes. Obviously resuscitated because I'm speaking to you guys right now. But then I was on life support for a week, in hospital for 5 months, and then in a wheelchair for an entire year. Doctor said I'll never be able to walk ever again. Raz, get this. Even though it was the greatest crisis in my life, I then realized that crisis creates opportunity. And what that meant was this. Now, if you study throughout the history of time, like we're talking, World War I, World War II, 9/11, global financial crisis. If you study some of the biggest of crises that have happened, what you'll find is that some of the greatest of inventions have derived in the middle of these crisis moments. Guys, when we start having an awareness that even though we're currently in a crisis, throughout this crisis can ignite some of the greatest of growth periods in our life. And I cannot encourage you enough. Start looking at what you're currently experiencing right now as a crisis. And our biology will link so much pain to it that says we must get ourselves out of it. Crisis creates opportunity. And if we can start seeing the opportunities that are lying right now in front of us throughout this global pandemic, then you'll start creating a brand new life for yourself. And through this crisis, realize this here is fascinating, right? Is that futurists are now saying that consumers are becoming a lot more comfortable with clicking. Meaning this is that, you know, you guys have probably seen some of the research. There's been a 600% rise of people buying things online. And so what that then means is that maybe you one day can see yourself as an entrepreneur, maybe someone that can actually take advantage of crises that are happening. But what we're now seeing, particularly in the influence world, like I run a company, right? And my company is called Speakers Institute. Write it down, yeah? Speakers Institute. And we train influencers around the world. And so basically, if you want to get a TEDx stage, if you want to speak on a TEDx stage, if you want to learn how to write an international best-selling book, if you want to learn how to be a professional speaker, if you want to learn how to, you know, build your followers or whatever it might be, that's what we do here at Speakers Institute. And yes, we run programs there in India, etc. But my encouragement to you as an influencer, what do you need to do to actually leverage upon what we're currently seeing right now in the marketplace, which it'll continue to grow and it'll continue to develop. I'll give you an example. Here in Australia, just 1 week ago, our government decided to ease the COVID laws. And so what that then meant is that we can now meet in the offices. We can now meet, you know, we can now, you know, and up to 50 people, we can now meet indoors, et cetera, et cetera. Restaurants, cafes are all opened up, et cetera. Whereas get this, people aren't going back to work. Why? Because bosses are saying that they're getting better productivity from their staff from home rather than going into the workforce. I'll give you another example. The CEO of Twitter, he's actually come out and he's told all of his staff, over 20,000 staff, if you want to continue to work from home, that's absolutely fine. He's saying that he's getting better productivity from his staff at home than actually in the work environment through that commute. You're looking at the CEO of Deloitte recently came out and they said they ran their very first online conference and they said it was significantly better than any other conference that they've ever run. Guys, a lot of my entrepreneurial friends that run big offices, they're closing down their offices. Why? Because they're getting better productivity from staff. And even we're seeing now with students, they're becoming more, like I'll give you an example. I've got a couple of teenage daughters and they're studying right now. I have seen a raise in their student performance, them working and then studying from home than actually going physically to school because they're not distracted. Guys, we're currently seeing a shift in human society. We're currently seeing a massive shift and a change. And to be quite honest, I don't know exactly what it'll look like, but the bottom line is this: things will never be how they were. We will not be bouncing back from this crisis. We will be learning from this crisis and bouncing forward into what we can become. Fascinating with what we're seeing. Next one is this, is virtual digital education. There's no better time right now than to upgrade yourself. So if you're currently not doing online courses, if you're currently not upskilling yourself, then unfortunately you're waiting for something. And so my encouragement to you is do everything you can to upskill yourself, ready for the upswing. The upswing is going to happen. It's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. And my encouragement to you is do everything you can to upgrade your proximity. Very, very quickly, just take a screenshot of that, or if you like, just take a photo or whatever it might be. That way, then you can then review this again, and that way then you can lean into this. But my encouragement to you is this, and something else I talk a lot about, and write this down if you can, yeah? It's called this: proximity is power. Write it down, quick. Proximity is power. Let me tell you something that you already know, yeah? We are the average of our 5 closest friends. The company that we keep determine who we are. We cannot expect to live a happy, positive, successful life if we hang around with negative, sad,
unsuccessful people. So who do you hang out with? Who mentors you? Who coaches you? What are you doing right now to upgrade your proximity? Who are the people in your life that you look up to? Because I can tell you something now, is that when I leave a conversation of people that are challenging me, that are spurring me on, that are helping me go from where I am today to where I really want to be, then I'm going to see growth. Then I'm going to see success. But when I hang around those people that gossip, that talk about what happened yesterday, that they like suck all the happiness out of you. You know, those people where you just don't feel, happy and enlightened. Who do you need to do? What do you need to do to cut off those people? Now, don't get me wrong. My family can sometimes be my greatest dream killers. I'll say that again. Yeah. My family can sometimes be my greatest dream killers, which then means this. Don't get me wrong. I love my family. I respect my family, but they will not speak into my life and create my future. I will create my future, and I will find the right mentors, coaches, and people in my life that'll challenge me from go to where I am today to where I really want to be. I suppose the ultimate message, what I'm saying here is this. Anything is possible. Anything. I want you to start dreaming bigger. I think you need to start playing a bigger game. Start thinking, what is possible? How can I be an influencer in the world? How can I make more of an influence and making a bigger impact on the planet? And I believe in you. And I believe that right now, this crisis that we're experiencing is actually happening for a reason and a purpose. And it's now time for you to raise your standards. It's time for you to play a bigger game. It's time for you to, get rid of those things that shouldn't be there in your life. You're like my son, right? Yeah, I went away in January and I came back, and then I looked at his devices, like his iPad, his game time, etc. He was spending an average of 6 hours a day during his holidays just playing games on his screen. That's on average 6 hours a day. And I'm thinking, wait a sec, how does that actually give value to other people? So I started to really challenge him, and I want to really start challenging you as well. What is the contribution that you want to have in this world? What is the difference and the influence and impact that you want to have? Because I believe this crisis has happened for a reason and a purpose. And it is time. No more excuses, no more reasons. It is time right now for you to lift your standards, for you to understand what's going on, for you to start taking control of your life and not blaming it on someone else, and start living your life in its purpose and the plan that God has for you as well. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, wait, here, let me teach you. Do you know how to do an online clap? I'm going to teach you how to do an online clap. Quick. Everyone, ready? Just sit forward. Come on, sit forward in your chair. Come on, I can see you. Sit forward, ready? What I'd like for you to, I want you to put both your hands up there. Just put both your hands up there right next to your face. Come on, both your hands up like that. And now just wiggle your fingers. Come on, wiggle your fingers. Come on, wiggle your fingers. That's it. That's how you do an online clap. How cool is that? Very, very cool. All right. Any questions at all that we might have that people want to ask me? Come on. Any questions at all? I've got a few other things that I'd like to share, but I'd like to also answer any questions at all you might have. Sabu says, even impossible is derived from I am possible. Boom. Totally agree with you, man. 100%. Come on. Do you have any questions at all you want to ask me before I do one more section here in today's webinar? I trust that you guys are getting value. All right, Dr. Ram, go.
Sam, where do you get this energy from, and how exactly you maintain this? Because all of us go through different emotions in life. Whereas I think the pandemic has made some of them lose their lives, some lose their jobs, some their business, some of them feel that their future is bleak. Whereas hearing you, I think you have completely changed the mindset of everyone listening here. Where do you get this energy from, and how do you maintain that?
Great question. It's called drugs. I'm only stirring. It was a joke. All right, let me share with you. Ready? Guys, the reality is this. I'm just a little kid, right? You know the little kids, right? The little 5-6-year-old kids that get excited about little things. Like there's a word which I love, which is called wonder.
And that is when you're just in awe and you're fascinated and you live in wonder. By the way, I truly, truly believe that every single one of us has this level of energy within us. But we dumb ourselves down. We quieten ourselves down. We start conforming. We start listening what other people are telling us. We start being worried about what people think of us. And the reality is this, ready? This might sound arrogant, but give me grace, yeah? If you have an issue with me, that's your issue, not mine. Because I like me. I like me. And as long as my wife loves me, my kids love me, that's all that matters. If you have an issue with me, that's your issue, not mine. I like me. And so my encouragement to you is stop worrying about what people think of you. We consume so much of our thoughts. When we're worried about what people think, oh, I wonder what they think of me. I wonder what they think. What if I show too much energy? What if I get too excited? I don't care. I love me. I love me. And so my encouragement to you is do everything you can to stop worrying about what people think. And guys, the bottom line is this. I get excited about when I talk. Why? Because I believe in it. And when you start getting excited when you talk, when you start living with passion, you will realize that you will live a healthier life. You will live a longer life. You'll be more attractive to people. You'll bring more happiness in the world around you. This dumbing down, this worrying about what people think, this not smiling too much or whatever. Guys, it's doing you a disservice. Get this ready. If you continue to worry about that, worry about what people think or always not be happy, like you have a choice right now, whether or not you want to be happy or whether or not you don't. I can even see people right now with the people that got their video on. They're like, you look bored. You actually look bored. Like, why are you even online if you look bored right now? Like, why are you even on this video right now if you're bored? You might as well leave. Guys, it is time for you to have some joy in your life. It is time right now. No more excuses. And so I cannot encourage you enough. Just stop worrying about what people think. Start having a joy and a happiness. Be attractive towards people. Skip. Smile. Go over the top. Like get this right. People regularly say, Sam, it's as if you're always, like on 6 cans of Red Bull. And why not? By the way, I don't drink Red Bull, but I'm just high on life. I'm alive today for a reason and a purpose. There are people out there that are no longer here. There are people out there that have died, that have passed away. There are people out there that didn't quite make it. But you're alive. Why don't you start living a life of joy and happiness rather than worrying about what people think of you and living this dull, boring life? And by the way, get this ready. I've got one arm and I've got one leg. Yet I'm still happy. What's your excuse? Like, seriously, I've got one arm, one leg. Like, you've got 2 arms, you got 2 legs. You're already one up on me. What are you complaining about? Like, for me, as long as I have a roof over my head, as long as I have clothes on my back, as long as I have a little bit of food in the fridge and a little bit of money in my wallet, what else do I need? Nothing. We worry, we're concerned, we stress over little things that, to be quite honest, are outside of our control. The greatest gift God gave us was the freedom of choice. I get to choose my emotion. I get to choose my happiness. No one else. It's the greatest thing I can get to choose. I do not get to choose the economy. I do not get to choose decisions that are outside of my control. I don't get to choose the weather. I don't get to choose this. But I'm not going to allow that to affect me. What I do get to choose is my emotional state. And no one will ever take that away from me. So I cannot encourage you enough. Start making decisions. Actually, get this ready. The word decision comes from the Latin word decerre, incision. Scission means to cut. The word decision means to cut. And get this ready. The word decide, decide. Suicide, pesticide. The word side means to kill. So get this. The word decision means to cut off and kill. I believe the world lacks leaders that make decisions. Why? Because we love keeping our options open. We love sitting on the fence. But my encouragement to you is do everything you can to start making decisions. And a decision maybe could be, I will live a joyful life. Maybe a decision is, I will be happy no matter what circumstances are in my life. Maybe a decision is, I will bring all of me in every situation with every human being. I will, no matter what, not worry about what people think of me when I bring joy and happiness to the world. Like, what are the decisions that you need to make right here, right now to cut off and kill every other option? That is what I'm talking about. And that is what makes you attractive. It makes you more attractive. And these limiting beliefs that says, oh, look, I can't show too much emotion. That belief is doing you a disservice. Yeah, you know, this belief that sometimes, oh, I can't express myself too much. Oh, I have to dumb down. I have to suppress my emotions. That is doing you a disservice. By the way, it's also making you unhealthy. There's a lot of research which will now show that the people that suppress emotions actually end up more unhealthy in their later years. Do everything you can to be expressive, to be joyful, to be happy. That is the life I believe you are called to do post this COVID. Fascinating, eh? All right, any other questions here? Very good. How do you find 100% clarity for where you want to go in life? Great, Ravi. Get a mentor, get a coach. Run it by someone. Lakshmi, I start the day positive, but by the end of the day, I'm not. How do I keep myself in the track of positivity? I know, make a decision. Seriously, just decide. Like, here's something, ready? I'm currently in our offices here. I got to the office here at about 5 a.m. this morning. It is currently 10 to 8 p.m. I've been here in the office for close to 14 hours. I've done 4 2-hour webinars. I've done a couple of big meetings, big finance meeting, etc. And I've actually been online to hundreds of people doing a couple of keynotes, etc. Like, for me, there's no excuses. There are no excuses at all. It is time for you to raise your standards. It is time for you to go from where you are today to where you really want to be. And that's all it is. No matter what I might be feeling, like, yes, guys, I'm flipping tired as. And yes, even my body hurts. And I haven't eaten much at all today. And I feel a little bit dehydrated. Yes, I'll go and get some water in a second. But there's no excuses. I'm going to show up. And I'm going to give you my all, no matter what. This is a decision that I make every single day. And so for me, there is a raising of your standards that must happen. All right. Ishita says, how do you manage your emotions when you've had a really, really bad day? Like what? What's a bad day? Losing an arm? Would you say that's a bad day? What, wrecking a leg? Would you say that's a bad day? I'll give you another example. I'm from a family of 11, right? So my mum, she was born in Kolkata. There in West Bengal. So she's Bengali, seriously, Baluachia. And my father, he's Scottish, born in Edinburgh in Scotland. So I'm one of 11. So there's 7 boys and 4 girls. Huge family, right? Massive family. 7 boys, 4 girls. I'm number 9 in the order. So I come from a family of 13 in total, including mum and dad, yeah? I have a younger brother, and his name is David. He's my best friend in the world. We hang out all the time. He's a really, really cool guy. David recently was diagnosed with cancer. And it's really sad me seeing my younger brother go through chemo, radiation, lose all his hair, everything like that. But I suppose the good news, I was the same blood match as him. So I donated my own bone marrow to my brother. And we're all believing, David, mate, you're going to get through this. You'll be fine. No problems at all. And unfortunately, he actually passed away. He died. That was a pretty bad day. But you know something, that was a celebration. It was a celebration of the life that we actually had with David in the short few years that he had here on this planet. It was a beautiful, joyous moment where we could actually be blessed and allow that. You know, we did get David, my younger brother, for the years that he was with us. Guys, I get it. We have some days that are tough, but nothing will ever take away the joy, the happiness, the emotion that we can feel. And I get it. We do always have tough days, and we have days of crises, but that is no reason or no excuse at all why we can't still be blessed. You know, there's people here right now. Get this ready. There's people here in the world that might not have as many benefits as you. There are people that are no longer here anymore. So I think everything is perspective. One of my mates, his name is Nick Vujicic. He was born with no arms and no legs. That's a pretty bad day. But the reality is that he's one of the most happiest, joyfulest people I've ever met. And so how I see it is that it's a training of your brain. And this is about rewiring yourself. It is. You can train your brain. You do have neuroplasticity. You can change your habits. You can change your bad habits. You can make them into joy and happiness and positivity. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. What is your one-line motivation that helps you to make you strong at your hard phases, sir? All right. Write this down. Come on. Write this down again. Ready? It's your decision, not condition, that determines who you are. I'll say that again. It is your decision, not your condition, that determines who you are. Get this, ready? I have a condition. My condition is I've only got one arm. My condition is my leg doesn't work. My condition is that I live with a disability. My condition is I'll never be able to go for a jog. I can't ride a bike. My condition is it's hard for me to sit in a car, in a theater, in a plane, walk up and down stairs. My condition is I live with a disability. But it is my decision, not my condition, that determines who I am. Get this right. I have a thing which is called phantom pain, right? If I close my eyes, I can still feel every single one of my fingers. I can feel my wrist and my elbows if it's all still there, but it's not. It's called phantom pain. Sometimes it'll wake me up in the middle of the night because it's so painful. Get this right. It's like the worst pins and needles that you've ever had in your entire life. Times that by 10. That's how my arm feels 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But there's a thing which we like to call cognitive disassociation, which basically means what you focus on is what you get. So for me what do you focus on? Do you focus on your condition? Do you focus on everything that's going wrong? Do you focus on, the problems, the issues, the crisis, the burden, the financial relationship, the lockdown? Like, what do you focus on? Because for me, it's not your condition, but it is your decision that determines who you are. It is your decision, not condition, that determines who we are. So that certainly is something that's really helped me on my journey, no matter what condition that I'm in, no matter what tough times that I'm going through. The greatest gift God ever gave us was the freedom of choice. So it is my decision, not condition, that determines who I am. All right. What else, Dr. Ram? What are the questions that you want to ask me before we do wrap it up? Look, guys, I would have loved to have spent a little bit extra time with you guys today, but I am actually feeling a little bit drained. So is there any other last minute at all, Dr. Ram?
Yes, I've got one question, and I'll have a rapid fire, which will be done by Pragya, a co-host. My question to you will be, what are the 21st century skills that you think that is essential for the new generation kids?
Good question. Great question. All right, I'm going to answer that. Through, just bear with me. I'm going to answer that here. Just bear with me. The new generation skills. All right, this here is the best way to answer that question, and I'm really, really glad you asked that question. This here is what I'll talk to you about. Now, some people call it soft skills. I actually call them the skills to influence others. Certainly, next generation skills that we do need is how to influence people. What do we need to do to win their attention? I believe right now we are living in the attention economy. And what the attention economy is, it's all about how to win people's attention when we're communicating to them. Whether it's through video, whether it's, online, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's one-to-one, one-to-many, whether it's to a teacher, a client, a customer, workplace, marketplace, how can we win their attention and influence them? There's two main parts of communication and winning people's attention. One is our content, what we say, and the other is our methodology, how we say it. Now, the best way to uncover this is actually by me sharing with you the top 5 video communication tips towards success. Yeah, the top 5 tips to video communication success. Why video? Because right now everyone is on video, everyone is online. Write this down and we'll finish with this, and then we can then do with the top 10 questions or something that you guys want to answer. All right. So the very first one is this: branding you in the frame. When it does come to professionalism, it is really, really important that whenever you are doing any level of video communication, it is really important that you do come across very professional. As you can see right now, I've got a nice business jacket. I've got a business shirt. I've got a nice black background. I want to make sure that I do come across really professional in order for you guys to then see the professionalism of my communication through video. The next one is this, is sound and lighting. Really important, which is a next generation, success. You get this ready. We will give you grace for bad picture quality, but we will not give you grace for bad sound or bad lighting. As you can see, there's good lighting on my face. There's also, I'm using this microphone here. And so it's really, really important for you to ensure that you do have good quality sound and lighting through video. The next one here is confidence versus certainty. Really important when it does come for you to come across with confidence and also certainty. Confidence is an upward forward motion. Certainty is a downward chest out motion. That is how you want to come across. So certainty is really important. The other thing here is the eyes. Really important to make sure that you always look at the camera. So watch this, ready? Watch this, ready? This here is fascinating, right? Right now, I'm looking at you, yeah? I'm looking at all of you in the video. Now watch this. Now I'm looking at you. Look, I'm now looking at you. Why? Because I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking directly at you. Now watch this. Now I'm looking at all at Zoom, and I'm looking at all the photos. Now watch this, ready? Now I'm looking at the camera. My encouragement to, in order for you to, like a new first generation trait, is for you to understand how to win the attention of the audience by looking directly at the camera lens. Great. I trust that helps. Another one here is comfortable transition. Really, really important there for you to, if you ever are going online through video communication, you want to make sure that it is really comfortable whenever you are speaking. So make sure you're ready to unmute yourself, make sure you're ready for this, and that way then that transition from one person speaking to another person speaking or the like, it's really important then for you to continue to win their attention. And then the last one here is this, energy and passion. Very quickly, just take a screenshot of this, just take a photo of it, or whatever you want to do. Just take a screenshot, take a photo. Great, awesome, excellent. Now, I'm now going to talk a little bit more about energy and passion. Now, I believe every single one of us has an inner child within you. Now, let me give you an example. Let's just say hypothetically, okay? This is a hypothetical. Let's say hypothetically, you are a mum or you're a father of a 5-year-old kid, okay? The 5-year-old kid. And let's say you love them unconditionally, they're amazing, and you would do anything and everything for this 5-year-old kid. And let's say this 5-year-old kid is now in kindergarten. Again, you're the parent, yeah? And your own 5-year-old kid is in kindergarten. And let's say hypothetically that they just finished a performance. Let's say they just spoke on stage, or let's say they won in a race, or they hit their first 6 in cricket, or whatever it might be. But the reality is that they just had the greatest ever moment of recognition. Now, you as the parent, you would not go up to them, your own 5-year-old kid, and you wouldn't say, well done, son. Well done, daughter. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. You wouldn't do that. You would go up to them as the parent of this 5-year-old kid and you'd go, well done. I'm so proud of you. That was amazing. High five. Yeah. Wow. That was... You would bring out the best in you. You would bring out your passion, your energy, your enthusiasm. Now, guys, that isn't faking it. That's you being excited for something. That's you being passionate about something. I cannot encourage you enough. The greatest trait in the future for you to win people's attention, for you to influence the world and impact and ultimately earn more money, you must bring in more passion, more enthusiasm, and more energy in whenever you are communicating to others, in your soft skills. This is the greatest way how you can influence more people and ultimately make more of a difference in the world. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, do an online clap. Come on, come on. Everyone, give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, woo, yeah, go, go, go. All right, how are we going to end?
Sam, we'll go for a rapid fire and Pragya take over.
Great.
Good afternoon, sir. I'll go with the quick rapid fire questions for you, sir.
Great.
So the first question is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Passionate, energetic, and loving.
Okay, sir. An idea that changed your life.
Sorry, I didn't hear the whole question.
An idea that changed your life.
Bounce forward. How to transform crisis into success.
Okay, sir. Best advice you have ever
sounds like you got really...
received.
Sorry, it sounds like you got really bad internet. I didn't quite hear that. Is everyone else? Are you also feeling it as well, Dr. Ram? I didn't hear that question.
Yeah, she's flipping.
Yeah, everyone else is nodding. Sorry, Pragaya, you got bad internet.
Come again?
Try again.
Sir, best advice you have ever received.
The best is yet to come.
Okay, sir. If you had a day off with no commitments and no responsibilities, what would you do spending the day?
It'll be something with my wife and my 3 kids. So I think maybe going for a walk. Actually, you know what I would do? I'll go for a drive. I love driving with my family.
Okay, sir. What is the one thing that you would want people to remember about you?
That he wanted to serve his God.
Okay, sir. So what comes to your mind when I say the...
What comes to your mind when I say the following words?
What?
Family.
Love.
Childhood.
What's that one?
Childhood.
Naughty.
Books.
Read.
Music.
Dance.
Is it important? Is it more important to love what you're doing or do what you love?
Both.
What is that one thing that you'd like to change about the world?
Grace. Hey, can I just explain that a little bit more? Get this ready.
Please go.
The true meaning of grace is forgiving before offense even happens. And I truly believe that the biggest issue in the world right now is that the world is teaching us how we can be quick to take offense. We have seen like world governments offended, families offended, families are breaking up because of offense. Everyone is getting offended. And unfortunately, this offense will cripple us. And I truly believe that the greatest thing we need in humanity right now is forgiveness. And the true meaning of grace is forgiving before offense even happens. Seriously, the greatest thing we need in this planet is grace.
Well, thank you so much, Sam Cathon. In fact, the entire world is traveling in a pandemic mode. And I think this 200 odd people who joined here today for this webinar is the most benefited lot, purely because last 60 odd minutes, we haven't thought about anything except the energy that was probably coming into us like a tsunami. Thank you, Sam, for that. And e-hugs for you. E-hugs for you. Convey my regards to your family, Kate and the 3 kids. Continue
Thank you very much.
Continue doing what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. We love you. Stay well, stay good, and go out there and make a difference. And don't forget, the best is yet to come. See you soon. Mwah. Bye.